The sixth law of human nature. Elevate your perspective. The law of short-sightedness. And this law is an interesting one because oftentimes I feel like most of the advice on the internet is you just gotta start. You just gotta get after it. You just gotta put pen to paper. You just have to do whatever it is that that you were telling yourself you were gonna do forever. Just do it. And not much thought is put into the plan. Not much thought is put into the actual steps that are going to be taken and the things that are going to be done and the end goal. The end goal is the most important thing. What is the outcome? What are you looking for? Like, what are the potential negative drawbacks of what you're shooting for? Like, and it's something that we all need to evaluate. Like, if you don't have an end goal in mind, if you don't know when you're just going to cut your losses and pull out and admit that you were wrong, like, you're literally just digging yourself into a hole. Like, it's frustrating to see that there's so many great ideas. There's so many great things that people bring to the table, yet they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to, draw back or focus on a different side of the business or put their time and energy into something else because clearly it's not working out. And it's all about understanding when it's time to cut your losses. It's all about understanding that if you don't have the full picture in mind, if you haven't worked out every single scenario in your mind, like, you probably shouldn't attempt the thing because you're going to look back and say, like, wow, I wish I thought about this earlier because I'm only thinking about tomorrow. I'm only thinking about the next day. I'm not thinking about the plan in 10 years. Like, what if I just go on this channel and just say horrendous things and I can literally never work a job again? That's something that really could come back to bite me. Like, I've said some stuff that might be a little controversial, but I've never said anything that's so horrendous. I don't attack people. I don't slander people. I don't really say anything that is outwardly going to get me disqualified from working at McDonald's. So it's like, but had I done that, had I talked about certain subjects, had I brushed on things that are particularly controversial, like, not only would I weaken my message, not only would I only attract a certain type of audience, but at the same time, like, I could literally ruin my life for nothing. And it's like, we need to start thinking about these things. We need to start playing out these scenarios. We have to start playing out, like, should I do a heel turn? Should I just talk shit on the internet? Should I just, become a troll? Like, that's a thought I've had in my mind, and that's a thought I've, like, really analyzed. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to build my legacy on that. I don't want to build my brand on that. I don't want to be remembered as that. Like, I want my friends and family to watch my videos and be able to say, like, okay, he might be weird, he might be saying crazy shit, but at least he's trying to make people better. At least he's trying to bring a new perspective. At least he's trying to do something new. Like, that in itself is cool. Like, I'm not going to just be one of those reaction channels or one of those people that, slanders people on the internet and just does it for clicks and just does it for likes. And then when you see him in person, you see those videos, like, I think it was like Moist Critical was talking shit about Logan Paul, and then they see him in person and then they're like all buddy, and it's like, that's clearly all just an act. And nothing against these guys, because I'm sure there's some backroom dealing where they're like, yo, I didn't mean it, I'm just talking shit for views, and then the other guy gets to react, so it's like fake beef, and I'm sure there's some stuff like that involved. That was just the first one that popped in my head, but I don't dislike anybody, I don't hate on anybody, and it's really interesting to see how little people think ahead, how little people go into the details, how they don't play out these scenarios in their head and even just think about these things. Because what I want you to understand is, like, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. The failure to plan is planning to fail. That's one of the greatest sayings ever, but it's so true because, like, there's something to be said about the creative element of, doing this business and turning on the camera and just talking shit and just saying whatever comes to your mind. But there's also has to be a bigger overarching goal behind it. Like, what is the point of me coming on camera? What is the point of me talking about books that I like? What is the overall goal? What am I trying to do? What are the products I'm selling? What are the things I'm doing? What are the things that are going into this? And right now, the goal of the channel is to expand the brand, is to expand my name, is to get myself in the algorithm, is to get, my other channels starting to get other views, maybe spread out the love into my other fitness channel. Like, I'm just trying to get my name in the algorithm. And at the same time, I'm talking about books I love. It is so fun. It is so entertaining. And even if I throw an affiliate link and maybe one person buys a book a month, like, that's enough for me right now. But later on down the line, like, maybe I start writing ebooks. Maybe I start, doing a book summary service. Maybe I start, expanding into different things. And it's like, these are all scenarios that I played out, and they're all things that I could pivot into if, let's say I lose my job, or let's say this, like, you need to plan to the end. You need to have all of these scenarios in your mind. And when you have all these scenarios in your mind, once things start to go good, you can just pull the trigger. And that's the best part about it. Like these don't even have to be worst case scenarios. Like what if I have a video that tomorrow gets 100,000 views? I'm gonna have to fundamentally transform what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to put a lot more effort into it. I'm gonna have to start editing my videos. I'm gonna have to start doing all of these things. Like I want to start improving the quality of these things when like the support is there. And these are all things that I need to start thinking about. So like I already have people that have emailed me like, hey, can I edit your videos? Hey, can I do this for you? And it's like the second this channel gets the respect it deserves, I'm gonna reach out to these people. I'm going to maybe talk to my old editor and see when he gets back to Hungary and, ask him like, oh yeah, could you do this for me? Could you do this for me? Like, I'm going to start watching videos of like how people edit videos in a similar style. And it's like, these are all things that I'm considering. These are all things I'm thinking about. And just reading this chapter alone has really made me understand like, it's okay to look at the day to day. It's okay to say like, okay, I have to film a video today. I have to film a video tomorrow. But I also have to think about what's going to happen in a year. What's going to happen in 2 years? What's going to happen in 5 years? What's going to happen in 10 years? What's going to happen if I have a video go viral? What's going to happen if I get a lot of backlash for saying some things? Like there's all of these things that we have to consider. And when you plan, when you think things out, when you even just think about them, it's going to give you so much more success. It's going to help you out so much more. And I don't want you to be caught blindsided. I don't want you to be caught by something that you didn't foresee, because if you didn't foresee it, then you don't have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you're acting out of emotion. And if you're acting out of emotion, that's always a recipe for disaster. Very few of us are good under pressure. Very few of us are good in the heat of battle, in the heat of the moment, when that anxiety is really chasing us, when we have that fear, when we're angry, when we're upset. Like very few of us are able to make the best decision in that scenario, and this is the way to avoid that. So I'll say it again. This is probably my favorite Robert Greene book. I love this book so much. It's so insightful, and the examples and the depth that he goes into and the deep psychology is. It's honestly unmatched, and I really think you should pick up this book. If you're going to pick up one Robert Greene book, I would say 48 Laws of Power is great, but if you like 48 Laws of Power, I think this one might be better. And the best part is you don't have to read either. You actually, you don't have to read both. Like, you can read one or the other. Like, they're not connected. It's not a series. So if you like the things I said about this, or if you like the other things I said about the 48 Laws of Power, pick up whatever one you want. But I just want you to just understand, like, when we start to read, when we start to think other people's thoughts, when we start to put other people's ideas into our own head, like that actively changes who you are. That actively changes the way you think. So like, instead of going on TikTok, instead of going on Instagram, instead of watching bullshit content, like just pick up a book, start reading it, start reprogramming your brain, start thinking higher thoughts, start understanding how smarter people think and how they approach situations. And this alone is going to improve you. This is something that is not talked about enough, but honestly, if every single person that watched all my videos just read hundreds of books, they would no longer have to watch my videos. I would no longer be inspiring. I would be, basically an idiot compared to whatever smart person is writing down the books that they're reading. So thank you so much for making this far. Honestly, I'm just ranting at this point, and I feel like this is going to go on forever if I don't end it. So thank you so much for making this far. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out, guys.